Hello, everyone. My name is Tim B. Green, and this is Crush It Club, episode 51, the 7 levers of influence, liking. So this is the second of 7, and I'm specifically doing this because I am speaking in an upcoming marketing success summit. I'm pretty excited about being asked to be a guest on it. I believe it's maybe 4 days from my talk. I'm not exactly sure the exact time since I'm coming at you from Japan. Yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty excited about it. I will be talking about the 7 levers of influence into sort of more detail or more specifically. And this is the one I'm going to spend the most time talking about. But I'll give you a taste today. And, please come join me there to see the more in depth, because I talk about Cialdini's 7 levers of influence from his book. But I also go into some depth on some other sort of insights of my own, which I will just touch upon today. I'm going to give you a taste, but I'm not going to give you the rest. And then I'm going to tell you now, before I forget, that tomorrow I will be doing the, better check before I do it. Okay, so for tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about the 3rd of the 7 levers of influence, which is social proof. But I won't talk about it today. I will talk about it tomorrow. So liking is, as it might seem, we're not necessarily talking about a thumbs up here, but we do like that which is a like. So that's essentially the principle is, we like people who are like ourselves. I'm Canadian. I live in Japan. When I was in Korea, actually, there were a lot more Canadians because of the 6-month visa arrangement, reciprocal 6-month visa arrangement with between Canada and South Korea. So I saw a lot more Canadians there. Here, when I'm talking about foreigners, in particular, Caucasian Western foreigners, they tend to be Americans because there's more Americans in the world than Canadians. So I'm actually, knowing about liking doesn't change the fact of my feelings, and it won't change the fact of yours or your customers. I'm happy to hear when somebody talks about being Canadian. Why? Because they're like me. If merely in citizenship, that's enough to cause us to have something to talk about. And so this principle is pretty universal. I use this picture of twins because, well, they're cute and everybody likes cute pretty much. But because twins are alike, and it just gets the point across visually and immediately. So the important thing to know, or the important thing to consider when you're using liking, that is, we are similar to you, I am similar to you, the value of my product is similar, or my company is similar to your values, is to be consistent with that. And by consistent, I don't mean telling the same lies over and over. I am not in favor of lying to market anything. It's just too much work to, besides being fundamentally a wrong thing to do. It's just too much work to keep your lies straight. So easier than that, be who you are, have the brand that you have the values that you have, and make sure other people know it. So what this will do is 2 things. First of all, anytime that there's an opportunity where you can draw attention to the similarity, the likeness between yourself and your potential customers and prospects, you should do so. So I'm going to talk in a couple minutes here in more depth on that. But to start with, just clearly identifying yourself, your brand, your company, your values as who you are will then automatically draw people who have similar values, who have the same interests as you, your product, your company, towards you, because people like things or people like them. So that's sort of an automatic component of it, but you have to let them know what you are like, what your brand is like, what your company and your company's values are like, or they will never be able to self-identify, self-select into your universe saying, hey, this is somebody I want to deal with. For example, I mention lots, especially for somebody who's not religious, I'm what you call an optimistic nihilist. I am a very strong truth teller and believe that businesses should always tell the truth, because lying almost always bites you in the ass. That's not the only reason. I do believe it's fundamentally wrong. So the way I'm speaking about that is more likely to draw people who have the same values, religious or otherwise, saying, telling the truth and having integrity in business is important to me. And since it's important to you, Tim, I will more likely do business with you. So that's what that's about. Now, on the other side of that, when you connect with someone, obviously you want to ask them about themselves. But what you're doing, besides learning about them and learning whether you can help them and you're a good match, which you should always do, that's oftentimes based on what we call alignment. But alignment is really a form of liking, right? It's like, my goals are environmental too. My goal is to help people with their financial futures too. Whatever it happens to be, while you're doing that, I would do two things. One is in whether it's a discovery call or when you're doing your marketing, whatever you're doing is when you get in contact with real humans or real groups, try to identify how they are like you, or more accurately, how you, your product, your values are like them, and emphasize those, because like, likes, like. But it has to be true. If it's not true, in most cases, you will come across as incongruent, that is disingenuous, dishonest, fake, and they will feel it, smell it, taste it. It will be usually pretty obvious, especially if there's specific knowledge that goes along with that being in that group. If you don't know that specific knowledge, you're immediately discredited as a liar, and all your credibility that you ever had is gone from that point on. So allow them to tell you about themselves, direct it towards the things that you think that you can help them with, the value you can bring them, and always be on the lookout for what in your product and so forth is like them, and then call attention to that so that they know you have that shared commonality. They like that, like you like that, like you're probably a good fit. But once you're there, you can go down that rabbit hole, ask what's called chain questions, WH questions, to learn more about that, to learn more about how you may be similar, because people just can't help but like. And the main reason from evolutionary terms is probably because the probability that somebody shares your culture or somebody shares your genes is somebody who looks like you, who sounds like you. If you're my age or older, you start to realize that your siblings or yourself starts to resemble your parents. For good or ill, you hear it or you see it, or you see it in people's behavior, especially after a long time. So likes, like, likes, like. And I'm going to give you a tease on the last two principles of like that are, I think, my own. I'm sure other people have come up with them too, but I think that I've never seen them anywhere else. And that is that people like to be liked. Shocker. And people like to like others. So I go into that in the upcoming talk. Go see me there. I will leave links. I'm still trying to get the right links, but when I have the right links, I will put it in the details of this video. So that's it for Crush It Club episode 51, the 7 levers of influence. Liking. People like those and those with the same values as themselves. People like that which is like them. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.